Have you ever wondered what happens to the massive muscles of the legendary bodybuilders when they retire or transition away from competitive bodybuilding? Well, in this video, we'll look at 10 of the most iconic bodybuilders of all time and the challenges they face to maintain their gains outside of the sport. From injuries to aging, these athletes experience significant losses in muscle mass, providing a unique perspective on the importance of balanced fitness goals, only on Bodybuilding Olympians. Bodybuilding is a sport focused on developing and showcasing muscle mass, symmetry, and overall physique through weightlifting and strict dieting. The goal is to achieve a sculpted and defined physique by building and maintaining muscle mass. However, once bodybuilders retire or transition from competitive bodybuilding, they may face challenges in maintaining their gains. This loss of muscle mass, also known as losing gains, can be a significant challenge for bodybuilders who have dedicated years of hard work to achieving their muscular physiques. Factors such as aging, injuries, and changes in lifestyle and diet can contribute to the loss of muscle mass, which can be a difficult adjustment for athletes who have built their identities around their physical appearance and strength. Bodybuilder number 10, Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman is regarded as one of the most successful bodybuilders ever, having won the Mr. Olympia title 8 times. However, despite his success, he experienced numerous injuries and underwent multiple surgeries throughout his career. These injuries ultimately led to a significant loss of muscle mass for Coleman. The impact of this loss of gains on his physical and mental health have been profound. Coleman has undergone multiple surgeries, including spinal surgeries and hip replacements, and has even been forced to use a wheelchair due to his injuries. He's also spoken openly about the mental toll of losing his muscular physique, which was a significant part of his identity as a bodybuilder. Bodybuilder number 9, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is a name that echoes in the halls of bodybuilding, having won the Mr. Olympia title 4 times and cementing his legacy as one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. But as Cutler's career progressed, he shifted his focus onto the other fitness areas, eventually retiring from competitive bodybuilding. Unfortunately, this decision also led to a loss of muscle mass for Cutler. For bodybuilders like Cutler, transitioning away from the sport can be daunting. After years of grueling training and strict diets, their bodies have been molded to excel in bodybuilding. Losing gains can be a difficult adjustment, both physically and mentally. The intense training and strict diets required for bodybuilding may not translate well to other fitness pursuits, leading to further challenges. Bodybuilder number 8, Rich Gaspari. In the 1980s and 1990s, Rich Gaspari was synonymous with the world of bodybuilding, having won numerous titles and cementing his place as one of the top bodybuilders of all time. However, as Gaspari's career progressed, he retired from professional bodybuilding, ultimately losing muscle mass. As with many bodybuilders, aging can significantly impact muscle mass and the ability to maintain these gains. Gaspari faced the challenge head-on, but it was no easy feat. The body naturally loses muscle mass as it ages, and with the intense training required to maintain gains can become more complex over time. Bodybuilder 7, Lee Priest. Lee Priest is a name that conjures mixed feelings in the bodybuilding world. Known for his controversial statements and unapologetic attitude, he was a force to be reckoned with in the competitive arena. However, Priest eventually decided to retire from competitive bodybuilding and focus on other areas of fitness, which led to a lot of muscle mass. For bodybuilders like Priest, transitioning away from the competitive arena can be complex and emotional. The intense training and strict diets required for the sport can become all-consuming, and leaving that behind can be challenging. In addition, the body can quickly lose muscle mass when it's no longer subjected to the extreme demands of bodybuilding. Bodybuilder 6, Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates was a name that dominated the world of bodybuilding in the 1990s, winning the coveted Mr. Olympia title 6 times in a row. However, after he retired from competitive bodybuilding, Yates faced the challenge of losing muscle mass. But it wasn't just retirement that impacted Yates' muscle mass. Injuries sustained during his bodybuilding career also took a toll on his body, making it difficult to maintain his gains as he aged. The body naturally loses muscle mass as it ages, and injuries can exacerbate this process. So, are you feeling motivated to hit the gym yet? Or are you already there, wondering if your gains will eventually disappear like these bodybuilding legends? Don't worry, we promise we won't let that happen to you. Unless, of course, you retire from bodybuilding and stop training altogether. Keep watching for more stories of legendary bodybuilders who lost their gains, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share with your fitness freaks, friends, and family. Bodybuilder 5, Tom PLATZ. Tom PLATZ is a name that is synonymous with bodybuilding, particularly for his awe-inspiring leg development. He was a fierce competitor in his day, but eventually decided to retire from competitive bodybuilding. This decision led to a loss of muscle mass, particularly in his legs, which had been his signature body part. For bodybuilders like PLATZ, transitioning away from the competitive arena can be challenging. The intense training and strict diets required for the sport can become all-consuming, and leaving that behind cannot be easy. In addition, the body can quickly lose muscle mass when it's no longer subjected to the extreme demands of bodybuilding. Bodybuilder 4, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a name that is synonymous with bodybuilding. He was a dominant force in the sport, winning the coveted Mr. Olympia title 7 times in a row. However, he eventually transitioned to acting and other pursuits, leading to losing muscle mass. As Schwarzenegger has aged, the natural process of losing muscle mass has taken its toll. Despite his iconic status and dedication to fitness, maintaining the gains of his youth has become a challenge. However, he remains committed to his health and wellness, and he's continued to inspire others with his fitness and aging approach. Bodybuilder 3, Shawn Ray. Shawn Ray is a name that is synonymous with bodybuilding from the 1990s. He was a top competitor in his day, but eventually decided to retire from competitive bodybuilding. This decision led to a loss of muscle mass, particularly in his upper body, which was his signature body part. For bodybuilders like Ray, transitioning away from competitive arena can be challenging. All of the intense training, all of the strict diets required for the sport can become all-consuming, and leaving that behind cannot be easy. In addition, the body can quickly lose muscle mass when it's no longer subjected to the extreme demands of bodybuilding. Bodybuilder 2, Flex Wheeler. Flex Wheeler was a top bodybuilder in the 1990s and early 2000s, known for his incredible muscle size, symmetry, and conditioning. But, like many bodybuilders, he eventually faced a difficult decision: retire from competitive bodybuilding or risk further injury. Wheeler ultimately chose to retire, but this decision came at a cost. His retirement from competitive bodybuilding meant a significant loss of muscle mass, as his body was no longer subjected to the intense demands of the sport. In addition to the challenges of maintaining muscle mass after retiring from the competition, Wheeler also faced the impacts of injuries on his body. Over the years, he has undergone multiple surgeries, including kidney transplants and surgeries to repair torn muscles. These injuries profoundly impacted his ability to maintain his gains, and he faced ongoing challenges related to muscle atrophy and weakness. Bodybuilder number 1, Frank ZANE. Frank ZANE was a 3-time Mr. Olympia winner and one of the most iconic bodybuilders of the 1970s. However, like many athletes, he eventually retired from competitive bodybuilding. Retirement often means a significant loss of muscle mass, as the body is no longer subjected to the intense demands of training and competition. And for ZANE, transitioning away from competitive bodybuilding also meant facing new challenges. He had to adjust to a new lifestyle and a new set of fitness goals and find new ways to stay motivated and engage with his training. This was of course difficult, as bodybuilding had been a defining part of his identity for many years. And we certainly hope you've enjoyed hearing the stories of these iconic athletes and the challenges that they faced in maintaining their impressive physiques. If you found this video interesting, feel free to like and share it with the people who are also into bodybuilding or fitness. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more videos about fitness, health, and wellness. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.